Now, I know you don't plan on showing up to Thanksgiving with the same macaroni and cheese that you bring every year. Consider bringing something different to the table, like Flamin' Hot macaroni and cheese. Every time I make this dish, it is a huge hit. I'm going to walk you through this step by step. Go ahead and take a screenshot of everything that's pictured right now, because this is what you'll need. Let's get right into it. Okay, so boom, you're gonna need 3 tablespoons of cream cheese, 1 cup of flour, 2 cups of Cheetos, about 2 tablespoons of sour cream, 4 ounces of cheddar medium, 4 ounces of cheddar mild, 4 ounces of sharp cheddar, along with 4 ounces of mozzarella, 1 can of evaporated milk, 1 box of elbow noodles, and you'll also need some whipping cream. We're gonna need about 1/4 cup of that whipping cream. You'll also need cayenne pepper, black pepper, salt, and garlic. You'll also need 1 stick of butter, as well as additional tablespoon of butter, or 2, just to go into the boiling water. However, you can check the description box for the ingredient list. Now, you'll see I am boiling about 6 cups of water so I can start boiling my noodles. That's what's called for the noodles that I have. If you have any questions about how much water you should boil, check the back of the box. So I placed these chips over in a Ziploc bag. I was going to attempt to use my hand to mash them. No. Then I decided that I would use a mashed potato masher to break the chips up, because you want to get them, smooth as possible. Of course, it's okay to have a nice little crunch to it, but you don't want it to be too crunchy. So I went ahead and dropped a beat onto the Cheetos to get it to a nice fine texture. Now, once the H2O starts dancing, you want to add the noodles and make sure you're stirring as you add them so it won't stick to the bottom of the pot. Now, if you're struggling with boiling water, this cooking thing might not be for you, baby. Next, I'll be grating my cheese. I want it on the smallest setting because I want it as fine as possible so that way it can melt faster. Also, I suggest using this cheese versus shredded cheese that comes in the bag, because shredded cheese in the bag comes with chemicals on it that make it hard to melt. Shock your noodles in cold water to stop the cooking process. I know so many people who dislike making a roux. Oh my goodness, it is my favorite part. Throw in a stick of butter and melt it on medium heat. Now this does start off, small, but it's going to get bigger. So make sure you're using a decent sized pot. So I added in all of the flour and I stirred consistently. You don't really want to stop because roux will burn easily, so you gotta keep stirring. I poured in, I don't know why I said evaporated milk. I poured in the entire can of canned milk. I'll be sure to, leave the actual one I used in the description box. But when you pour it in, you want to keep stirring and stirring consistently. Now look, while you're stirring, you're going to add in your whipping cream, but you must keep stirring because the sauce is going to thicken with time. So just keep stirring. As you're stirring, you're going to start to feel the resistance against your wire whip because the sauce will be thickening. At that point, you're going to want to go in and add your cheese. Look now, if you don't keep stirring, your cheese will stick to the bottom of the pan and you're gonna hate doing dishes even more than what you already do. Clean as you go and not as you went. So pretty much just add cheese, stir, add cheese, stir, add cheese, stir. Yeah, that's the best way to do this. Next, you're going to be adding in your cream cheese. And no, there's really not a specific order to the cheeses and the spices. After I add the cheeses, I'll be coming in with all my spices, which will be the salt, the pepper, the garlic, and paprika. So creamy. Once you're satisfied with the consistency, I suggest a slightly medium type of consistency because it will get thicker once it starts to settle. You want to go ahead and add in your chips. Don't add all your chips though, because you want to save some to go across the top. Next, you're going to add in your noodles, add them all in, and mix them into your cheese sauce. At this point, it is safe to turn your stove completely off. Now, the next part is completely optional. I choose to do it to make sure that, the baking dish that I'm using is hot and gives the macaroni a better chance at settling a bit faster, if that makes sense. I placed the macaroni in the oven at 350 degrees and I put it in for about 10 minutes. This was before I decided to put the Cheeto toppings on there. So here it is before it goes into the oven. And I just put it in for a little bit. Alright, so once I took it out the oven, I let it sit for a good 20 minutes. I added the chips on top, and as you can see, it came out absolutely amazing. And not only does it look amazing, it tastes just as good as it looks, if not better. You're gonna be blown away at this dish. Please try it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching.